Hey, welcome to North Idaho Experience. In today's episode, Dave, Eric, and myself sit down with retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt. He is a local favorite. Today, we're going to talk about the details in the operation to snatch the illegitimate Venezuelan president and cartel boss, Nicolás Maduro. We're going to dive into a plethora of geopolitical info, including China, Japan, Russia, Taiwan. We also discuss the future of warfare, the faults in the U.S. political system, and the ethics and tactics involved in destroying narco boats. Tune in. This was a wild episode. We covered a lot of topics. It was incredibly interesting. Blaine is an absolute wealth of information in all geopolitical things. Also, check out his podcast called Dangerous Intellectuals. It's on all podcast platforms and X. And please subscribe to our podcast because North Idaho is really an example of freedom. Maybe you don't live here. Maybe you have no interest in living here, but the topics that we cover in this podcast really should be an example of a free state and how humans were meant to live. So maybe you can find some interest in that, at least, even if you're not interested in moving to North Idaho or have any interest in this place. But if you are thinking about moving here, please reach out to our real estate team, North Idaho Experience. We specialize in helping conservative families find their freedom right here in North Idaho. All right, on to the podcast. I just want to make sure,
Yeah, just in the event.
things we're saying are good.
Yeah, and I don't want to be live yet until we get that approval.
Oh, no, yeah. It won't be live.
Not live.
Not live.
So
Nope.
I did.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
Easy day.
We're
Yeah,
recording.
you give me the go ahead and we'll pull the
Okay,
trigger.
that's
But
good.
it's going to take a couple days turnaround
That's
anyway,
good.
so we
That's
should be
good.
fine.
I'm going to try to get a blanket clearance for us. And
Oh, cool.
And a blanket clearance for crypto.
That would be
rich, 'cause I'm now
fantastic.
crypto rich all the time.
That would be fantastic.
What
Okay,
is
cool.
Crypto Rich?
Dude, you'll love that. It's a great podcast.
Oh, all right. I got to hear it. I got to listen to it now. I'm going to start listening to some of the other ones. They were neat.
Well, you
Look,
got to listen to mine.
listen, I've never been crazy into like the alien stuff, but the last podcast got me going down a bit of a rabbit hole. And I was
listen to
like,
mine with Stephen Greer?
no, I have not, but it's on my list now because I listened to your guys' last one. I was
I'm
like,
on with
all
Jonathan
right.
Gilliam tomorrow.
Yeah.
Talking Maduro with Jack Gilliam was Navy SEAL, FBI Air Marshal.
Dude.
And you want to talk about seeing the shady underbelly
Yeah.
of shit. Jonathan
Yeah,
has seen
man.
everything.
It's so addictive. Like once you start getting into that underbelly and like you see a little bit and you're like, I have to know more, but I'm not sure I want to know more.
That's because we're constantly fed 50% bullshit,
know.
50% reality, and so you always have questions.
Kick that over to
You ever wonder? You ever think though,
up in
like
there.
ignorance truly is bliss? Because you've got like farmers out there that are just laboring 10, 12 hours, and they're living until they're 95 years old. And I'm probably going to get like mid 60s because I'm like, no, I have to know. I got to go digging. I have to know. It generates long stress and cortisol.
Hey, here's the good whiskey, good friends, and good conversation. Cheers, boys.
Well,
Good to
let's
be home in Idaho.
freaking start this off.
Let's kick it.
If people don't know, we're sitting down. I woke up yesterday morning and text these two guys, and I said, is it okay? We just kidnapped a president, a president of another country. He's now an American citizen for a little bit. And then we called Blaine.
We're like,
We're like,
this is
we know a
perfect.
guy that knows a guy that knows a bit about a bit. Let's
Holy
talk.
smokes.
Yeah.
Well, I've been jacked to get on a podcast with you for a while, anyways, because
It's
I've missed the last
always
couple.
a good time. Obviously, we have a lot of questions in this whole world here.
Right.
But, oh, man, I got theories, too.
I think there's a lot. And if you're just joining us, we have Brigadier General, retired Brigadier General Blaine Holt. And we've called you on here quite a few times. We have a lot of very fun podcasts with you. And anytime there's something major that goes on that we just don't quite understand, we have a tendency to give you a call and offer you whiskey and see if we can hang out. So
Yes.
that's great.
In hopes of getting accurate.
Yeah.
accounting
So the reason we
information.
called this one is because, Maduro was just taken.
Yeah.
by
Minding
our
his own
forces.
business, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Poor fella.
abiding
I
by
mean, we
all
just
laws.
went into another. I don't know when this has ever happened outside of wartime. I mean, this is. I don't know of any other.
There's been a few. I mean, on this Maduro thing, I got nothing. No,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
This is nutty. What is going on?
It was a baller move on Trump's part of just like, hey, you want to talk shit?
here's
Come here.
Let's just start with the tactical part of it. We'll get to the
Yeah.
should we have done this? Should we not have done this? Is it legal? Is it illegal? Where are we at? But if you just take the operation in itself, you've got probably about 800 variables that have to go completely perfect. And even then, there's probably going to be something that doesn't go well, some hitch doesn't work right. These units, Delta Force, the 160th Night Stalkers, the 75th Ranger Regiment, they are the best. They're the varsity team. We don't have better than them. And I have had the good fortune when I flew C-17s of being the airborne mission commander for the C-17 package with them. If you recall, recently we've had people call in or write stories or write letters to the editor here in the Coeur d'Alene Press about, I saw C-17s over Pappy Boyington Field and what's going on and all of that. Well, that field at times does participate in the training that gets those folks up to normal speed. Now, Coeur d'Alene wasn't part of this particular mission rehearsal or anything like that, but they consistently train for missions that are like that, which are the hardest missions you could possibly do. So here's a handful of you. We're all going to get shot up. We're going to go in. We're going to get this guy before he gets to his safe room, and we're going to exfil, and everything's going to go just perfect. By the way, there's Iranian, Chinese, and Russian military systems there to kill everybody. And Hezbollah's on the ground. The gang's all there. What could go wrong?
Yeah. What the cojones on whoever? I mean, what's the workup like this look like? How long does it take to plan something like this? How many moving parts?
The exercises like the one I described here at Coeur d'Alene are the ones that keep them in a warm status. It keeps them in a certified status so that if called upon, here's the objective. This is your timing window. This is what the weather looks like. That's for night vision goggles and all of that stuff. And this is our go, no-go criteria for this, and this is what we expect out of the mission. 5-6 days, maybe a week and a half.
Wow.
So there's a lot of staffing. There's a lot of – the first thing this starts with is a bunch of lawyers that'll sit around the Oval Office and go, well, I don't know if we could do this. And
check out some case law. Here
well, yeah. I mean, you get into what I call the Joint Interagency Task Force, the Department of No, which it's always safest for them to say, oh, no, we can't do that. And eventually, the president, his leadership style is, don't bring me no's. You bring me the legal way to say yes and how that's going to be. In this case, it's extremely clear-cut, although the detractors don't want it to be clear-cut. And we can talk about that in a second. In this case, you just go straight to the Constitution and you get your answer. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution requires the chief, the commander-in-chief, in his executive role to defend the people of the United States of America. Well, this has been overlooked because we're losing, as you well know, Eric, the 70,000 Americans every year to drug overdose. Now, is this thing only about the drugs? Oh, hell no. Oh, no. There's this is an onion. There are so many layers to this thing, and that's where I come.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you call Uncle Plano.
A lot of questions about that.
Bring it to me. Yeah. So, but the predicate is the drugs. You're killing 70,000 Americans at any time. I can come dispose of you.
It's the leading cause of death in the United States for adults age 18
It's
to 45.
reason enough, but that's not what the president's got going on here. A lot of people think this is against Maduro and against Venezuela. No, it's not. The war on the cartels is something very different. The war on the cartels represents every illicit activity in the entire planet, in the global commons.
Right.
Everything. So it's what I call the vascular system to all illegality. And what we're talking about here is all the money laundering, all the shadow banking, all the private banking, all the bought-off politicians. And I'm not talking just feds, local, county, Main Street USA. That money goes everywhere. Organ harvesting, human trafficking, kids. From Beijing to Davos to the city of London, those are the ones that are at the very, very top rafters, that if the president pushes on the cartels and he creates these cost impositions like, oh, I see you lost another $120 million of oil out of that boat. Oh, there goes another, air quotes, fishing boat that just went to the bottom of the ocean with friendly fishermen who were just trying to get back to the boat.
With no lights and four 250 horse outboards on the back.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally
and
makes sense.
now we want to parse. I'm feeding the guy a steady diet of rockets. I don't know when to cut off the rockets.
Right.
and we're going to parse that.
Yeah.
But this is for all the marbles. And it is what the president's trying to do is to stop. I won't call it World War III because I think we've already had World War III and it's been done. You could call this World War IV. We could all just argue history to the end of time. But I think what the president's doing is stopping World War next. And that's whatever you want it to be. But it's you guys can see financial storm clouds brewing. You don't have to be a rocket genius to know that maybe silver streaking off at $80 an ounce isn't a warning sign or a circuit breaker of some kind. So in other words, with a financial place where this debt-based system Ponzi scheme is about to get to its end game, what do? Like World War I and World War II, they have to have a villain.
Right.
That villain's name is Putin. We didn't cause your economy to crash Europe or deindustrialize you because of climate change and all that other crap. It was the Putin guy.
Right.
And now we're trading missiles. The thing about these psychopaths at those levels, they don't care how many people die. If you don't believe me, there's already 2 million people dead in 4 years in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. So the president is taking, with this action, just an entirely risk-laden endeavor. He wrote it all down in the national security strategy, so he told everybody what he was going to do. And we're going to be shifting the world into 3 competitive zones. ARC, America, Russia, China. Didn't say Europe in that, did I? They've knocked the 3 legs of the European transatlantic alliance stool out. Security, prosperity, values. Where are the values? They've let themselves be invaded. They're covered up. We have to stop that here. We have to reverse that here. But what we're looking at is the City of London banking consortiums that represents the trillions in wealth of all the puppet holders from Rockefeller to Rothschilds and all of that. They're the ones getting squeezed here. They're the ones that have relied on all of these things. And the president does have about a 5-tier strategy to go after them. He's hitting them on the cartels. Mm-hmm. He's hitting them in the financial markets. The dollar coming down to zero is not really working for them right now. Printing more liquidity into the system, which the Fed is freaking out and drilling our dollar even more because they have no choice. They're backing them into a corner. They normally would take all their stolen money. They would throw it into assets. I'll go buy real estate. Nope, they blew that up like a bubble. I don't have to tell you guys that. Mm-hmm. So I'll go buy metals. Sorry, it's unobtainium. All there is paper. You can buy paper contracts. Nobody will deliver on them because China and America and Russia all said, we're not selling.
Right.
We're not going to let anything out of our country. By the way, Venezuela is now going to play ball. They have some of the biggest silver reserves in the world. So you can see that the whole thing is a big onion, but it all gets down to this op. And this op has to go perfectly. And I mean to the numbers. I have been in these exercises, and I have never seen it go that perfect. I've never seen it go that perfect.
Why do you think this one was so good? Was it just one of those things that maybe almost the element of surprise to where who would ever go into a country and just steal a leader? Was there part of that? I mean, why was it so successful?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to get to George Washington's testicular fortitude of crossing the Delaware River, killing people in the middle of the night, Christmas Day.
It was Christmas, dude. Nobody expects some crazy guy to go across a frozen river.
But it's like that. So let's look at Maduro. Maduro is practicing OPSEC. He goes to bunker all the time. He's down under there with his family. Okay, so then the Chinese delegation's going to come visit and do a state visit, basically a well check of how their boy Maduro is doing. And the delegation goes, so Maduro, logical thinker, well, America's not going to come roll me up while the Chinese are here because that's going to create a big mess.
Right.
And so you've got the conditions set perfectly. The moon angle is
awesome.
Perfect for night vision goggles. It's just looking really nice, which gets us all really nervous because you're like, it's too good. It's too good.
Something's got to happen. Something
really bad's going to go. And so, but then take a look at our overlay of technology. So F-22s come in. You've got jammers coming in. They blind the country. They're spatially unaware. We take away their communications. We take away their ability to even tell the president he's going to be under attack.
This is so crazy.
We whack a couple here and there. There's some bombs going off here and there. They can't even make a phone call.
Yeah.
And then there it is. They bust into the building. They cut down. They get him right before he's going to go into a steel bunker, and they extract him. A couple of our guys got shot up. I think they're both okay. and we didn't lose a bird or anything.
So
How many? Do we know how many casualties there were on the
On their side?
Yeah, unknown. You may never know.
Somebody.
I mean,
well, the exfil was so fast. They have no. They
Yeah.
didn't go. They didn't go
Yeah.
check pulse.
it's like you couldn't fail. Like, imagine they tried it and failed.
Yeah.
How bad that would look.
Well, look at the rescue attempt. This is what created Special Operations Command, by the way. This is what created JSOC. You had Desert One when we went to go rescue the hostages in Tehran. And what an irony, because here we are back to now we're at the end of that game with those guys. But we're going to go rescue the hostages, and we didn't have any joint doctrine. We didn't fight well together. We didn't have the right comms. The Marines couldn't talk to the SEALs. The SEALs couldn't talk to the Army. You have C-130s in a dust storm backing into helicopters. It's a damn disastrous Keystone Cops, well as Jimmy Carter's military. But look how fast, and I have the answer to your question. The real answer to your question is in the past, when you've had things like Kabul happen or other disasters, Benghazi and those types of things, in the Obama and Biden, Clinton, and even George W. Bush administrations, you would see that the National Security Council suits, never even held a 9mm in their hands, suddenly become generals. They suddenly become oriented in the profession of arms, and they're going to tell you how your war is going to go. So they're going to tell you, no, I want you to come in on this axis. No. And they basically just play with plastic soldiers who don't know what the hell they're doing. So what our president does, and what his style is your objective is to get Maduro into that prison. Okay, that's what you want. That's what I want.
And I got your back.
And you're not going to tell me how to do that. No.
Why would he? He's never been in that position.
But I'm telling you, this is where the politicians will get in and they'll outthink you 30 ways from Sunday and make the mission real damn dangerous. You'll have tacticians on the ground who'll go, that's going to get us killed. It's like, these are the rules. You're going to go do it. I was in Afghanistan when sweetheart of a General Stanley McChrystal came out with the tactical directive. And the tactical directive was basically sit and take it. We're going to win hearts and minds here. We're not really interested if you want to go take out the enemy. And it's like, I don't think you really understood this war thing. Where did that go wrong in your upbringing? So we're not the diplomat side. We're actually the break things and kill them side. That's what we do. And so it's so important to trust your military leadership, trust that they're trained well. And those forces and the way that they train, it's unconscionable. I mean, it's just and to just trust them and say, you have it. Go do this. Yeah. The oldest guy in the fight that night was 49 years old.
Yeah, it's legit.
Now, that's one badass chief.
dude.
Man, you said it. You said a couple of things that just make a lot of sense, and I just don't think it's unique to the military, right? But under these circumstances, you said these guys are out there staying warm. Like the time you get ready for the Super Bowl ain't the week of the game, right? They have to be ready and prepped. And that way they do principle-based training. So when it comes up, there's so many factors you can't prepare for.
Right.
You can't sit here and tabletop game plan how many people are going to be there. You'll have a pretty good idea. Your intel is going to be really, really good, but you can't know.
Right.
Those guys have to be ready to go, and they can't go ask for permission. We saw that in circumstances like Uvalde, where they had to wait until they got permission from everybody above them in order to get their rules of engagement.
Hamstrung.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you trust them, and they are the best because they train really hard and they're ready to go, and it's like, okay, we make a few tweaks, we do this, and then you guys adapt on the fly. Good to go, right? And then send it. That's so cool to see it work out like that.
Yeah.
Do you know, back to the details, like how many boots on the ground roughly? I mean, it was obviously Delta Force, right?
Yeah, the elements of them, the regiment. But my understanding, you're looking at probably the actual ground guys of maybe 20 or less.
And one of them's 49, dude.
Studs.
Actually, quite a few were up there. I mean, they had some graybeards. That's the other hard part. When those guys, the way that they train, I don't care if you're 49. You're one of those longevity dudes. You are a rock. And the other cool part is they're the dudes, they're the old graybeards packing the knowledge.
Yeah.
So they're going in there, and they have been shot up. They have been hit in Iraq, in Afghanistan. They know when it looks like it's about to turn to shit, and you gotta we're gonna leave. These are the Papa Bears that they all trust and put their lives in their hands, and the Papa Bears go to war with them.
Yeah.
And then the young ones, they perform flawlessly. They would have performed flawlessly anyway, but they're going to perform better because their anxiety level is down because dad's here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And everybody's got those in their history. Like I think back, and I definitely had those where you're like, hell yeah, I'm glad that dude's here. Like they show up on scene, you're like, yeah, it's cool. All
Absolutely.
Right.
So my next question too, and well, I guess I was going to ask you, did Nike sponsor this whole thing? Because I saw Maduro in a Nike jumpsuit, and I'm certain that he was either naked or something. And did we bring one for him?
I think we did.
Yeah, maybe we
I
did.
saw him great. I don't know what's AI anymore or not, but I saw him in an Origin hoodie, and Jocko was like, "Fuck yeah, that's my hoodie."
Oh yeah. No, I saw him in a Nike jumpsuit.
Stop it, dude.
Well, anyways, so question: when this stuff happened, you know, I joked about it, and I'm like, "Is this legal? Can we do this? Like, what is all this stuff?" My biggest fear, and I think everybody's biggest fear, is not Venezuela. I'm not afraid of Venezuela. They have nothing on us.
Right.
But obviously now you have Russia and China condemning this. We had China make a statement the other day that we need to release Maduro immediately. And while I think that and this is one thing that proves it, while I feel that our military is vastly superior, we had a conversation with you a long time ago, and you know, we understand if we end up in war with Russia or China, and correct me if I'm wrong, I remember you saying that you feel like we'd win, but it would hurt.
Oh, it hurt.
It wouldn't be something that we would want to do. So where does this put us on the spectrum now with countries like that?
Oh, we're in good shape.
All right.
Here's why. You got to read the National Security Strategy, and then an even more boring document. You got to read the FSOC, or the Financial Stability Oversight Council report that just came out a week after the National Security Strategy. The two books combined are the most seismic shift in American foreign policy in the last 100 years.
Oh,
That's a big statement.
yeah.
So think about the erasure of Bretton Woods. Gone. We're not playing. So what does that mean? What it means is that we are placing now a premium on our hemisphere. We know that Russia, China, Iran tentacles run deep in our hemisphere because we haven't minded the store. We've been out abroad making trouble for Russia and China and other places. So what we're looking at here is a world. It doesn't mean we're going to be allies with the Russians and the Chinese. We're not. But what we are going to be is in zones of influence that make sense, and we're going to check each other when that time might come, but we're going to try to replace military interaction with a demilitarized foreign policy that's based on commerce and gets out of the business of, I'm going to tell you how to run your country now. I don't like how you run your country. I'm going to tell you how to run your country now. So it's, for right or wrong, it's not a panacea. There's no such thing in the world commons or foreign affairs that, no, this is the one right answer and every other answer is bad. It's to demilitarize and push us away from places where the financialists bet on both sides of the war and they pit us against each other. And the winners are the defense industrial base. They're certainly not our kids,
right,
who do forever wars, and that there's no word called victory involved in that. So a lot of people now are screaming at the president going, you've just signed Taiwan's death warrant. Now they're going to go pull the president of Taiwan out, and they're going to play the same game.
Well, certainly from a game of Risk. I mean, I played Risk all the time. If I attacked him and he attacked me, you're going to. I mean, it's like that's Russia did this to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Now we've done something to Venezuela, and then So I mean, I think there's a lot of people on the surface level that would say that.
But we took it to another level. I mean,
it was insane.
Does this put everybody on notice? Like Mexico, all these other people are like, oh shit, they would snatch me up in the middle of the night.
It's actually a very nice deterrent because I can tell you there's a lot of Russian generals and Chinese generals that are going, oh.
Right.
I guess the last 4 years didn't set them back as far as we thought.
Well, that's the thing, too. Did you see that? So Russia provided Venezuela with their Iron Dome, right? So this has also got to be a strike to Russia, right? That they had this incredible security defense system,
really?
Right? They were supposed to sink ships off the coast, right?
What
That's what we see in the news.
What about the Chinese one, too?
I didn't know about the Chinese one.
They didn't work either.
Amazing. Some 19-year-old autistic kid from Nebraska.
I'm not saying that I know
this. Shut them down.
But what if, not saying that I know this,
like these statements.
But what if those machines had kill switches inside of them?
Yeah.
And Beijing and Moscow turned them off.
Oh.
Because what if there was a deal before the deal before the deal that was already cut?
I hate all of this.
I have to think, and I thought of that. I'm like, they must have notified them.
Oh, come on. The Chinese delegation showing up
Yeah.
is too perfect.
Yeah. For him to come out right then.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's just, so here's the deal.
We'll condemn it.
Right
We'll condemn
now.
it afterwards.
Confused.
Oh my! I'm so confused.
I
If
love
you're
it,
watching
dude.
this is why.
I love it.
What if you, so look at, I told you a little bit about the national security strategy. People
Right.
ought to read that. Okay. So then what if you're like, look, China, we're going to need you to get the hell out of our hemisphere. And by the way, the United States as well, because your PLA guys are here. They got to go. And infiltrators and spies and all of that. Let's start the process. But you're getting your Belt and Road crap out of South America. Don't return Lula's phone calls anymore, by the way. You're going to do that because we know you're in a real bad way right now. The CCP is crumbling, it's aging, and you've got no less than 4 factions vying to be the leader. We know that Xi Jinping is not the leader, he's an ornamental leader. We know that Wang Yi is probably the guy who's got the country in receivership. How do we know that? Well, do you think Witkoff shows up in Moscow to talk to Putin and then just magically Wang Yi from China is there at the exact same time? What are the odds of that? So the fun part about this is when your enemy is in trouble, step on the gas. And what we're doing is we're stepping on the gas. We're going, I see you're in a bad way. Well, let me help. So when I hear people say, oh, they're going to go take Taiwan. Really? Well, how embarrassing would it be for the PLA with their own people at home if Taiwan missiles that we don't know what they look like, they've been kept secret from the United States, go hurling right on through the Three Gorges Dam, kill 600 million people overnight, and then they take out Jiangnan High with the same missile systems. And all that artillery they got perched up on those ships coming across the straits, they just lay waste to them. So what does that look like for the Chinese military? Because then the people in China go, huh, I did not know this. Maybe now's a good time.
But does that just take the nuke option right on the table there, or put it on the table?
Well, that's
kill
another
600
problem.
million
That's
people.
another problem because nuclear surety in the Chinese military, if you recall, Xi Jinping purged most of his nuclear forces commanders. That's one. 2, the corruption in the Chinese military runs really deep. So Zhang Yuxia, the leader of the Chinese military, knows exactly what their readiness state is. These guys wouldn't even buy marine steel for their Navy vessels. They're rusting underneath the water because they did kickbacks and pocketed the change. It's a paper mache deal.
So you're saying that a lot of those, because I always know it's either money or power, right?
Mm-hmm. Leverage.
Right, and so it seems like with that a lot of people have chosen to be a little more selfish with the money side of it.
It's that Temu steel they're buying, man. That shit's no good.
Temu. Yeah. So just so you know, I just got rid of my social media. So I have no apps. I have no Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Facebook on my phone anymore. And it's crazy.
How you feeling?
Actually really good.
Yeah.
I find a lot more time in my day, but it's because like even the stuff that we post, I have to go and ask Renee, I'm like, can you send it to me? Like I haven't even seen the reels for today.
Yeah.
But so random tangent,
Yeah.
but I don't see any of this stuff happening.
Is there a world where we let China take Taiwan in return for us getting the oil reserves in Venezuela? Is this all about oil?
Now I'll say something that everybody who's watching us will go, he's absolutely batshit crazy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
There could be a situation where we let Taiwan take China.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with the whole batshit crazy thing right now. I'm with them.
So let's think about this. I remember the deputy foreign minister of China, who's a very dear friend of mine, when she was what we would call the ambassador equivalent, and she was to the UN in New York City. It was her supposition that it's not China that we have to worry about. It's Taiwan that's going to affect China. And the reason that's so is because the Chinese economy over the past 10 years has absolutely cratered. And it cratered way before that because they've lied about everything. They've lied about their employment numbers. They've lied about everything. They lie about their census. They don't have 1.4 billion people.
I was about to say.
They're also in population decline, right?
They lie about all of it. And they lie for their people because the CCP that's getting very old in tooth is terrified of their people. And their people can't eat, and they're out of work. And Shanghai and the tier 1 cities are becoming ghost towns. There's no commerce. They still have factories, but it's not like it was. A lot of the big capitals flowing out. Now, look at it this way. You're China. You're a Chinese guy on the street. You're in a protest group. You don't care about the surveillance and the social credit score crap anymore because there is no money on the street. And, you're about to take over the CCP or it's going to fall under its own weight. Or you're getting a reformer. What system looks good for Chinese people that seems to be working and making everybody really wealthy? And so it's about influence. And so could Taiwan, as a strong economic partner with Japan right behind it, look like the beacon of light to go, these guys are fallen. What are we going to do? And I would argue, I used to live as a kid in Hong Kong for 5 years. I would argue that the Chinese culture that's going to come to the rescue of the mainland will be an axis between Taiwan and Hong Kong.
So would this have to do anything at all with, I believe it was 1985 when China came up with the one child per family. Went until 2015, right? I mean, I was just talking to a buddy about this today. I mean, if you did one person per family in one generation, you've cut your population in half.
Yeah.
Well, if you had 1 billion people, you don't have 1 billion people anymore.
No, they don't. And in COVID, they lost a lot more that they're lying about. But the other part is take that screwball policy, that incompetent policy, because this is what China does. When China makes a mistake, it's hold my beer time. They're not going to make a little mistake.
It's like the state of Washington.
Not interested.
The state of Washington.
They're not interested in little mistakes. They want
That's our team.
They want mistakes at scale. And so what did they do to their environment? 90% of Chinese water is unusable. What did they do to their land? They can't grow enough food to feed themselves because of the siltification of their soil. What did they do to their water management? They did this grandiose north-south water plan. I know, we'll take all the water that's plentiful in the south and we'll just truck it to the north. And we'll make this massive aquifer system that'll cost $1 trillion. Or the Three Gorges Dam. They literally made the target that could kill the entire country.
That thing is insane.
And it's failing. It's
failing?
Currently? It is absolutely failing. You've heard of tofu dregs. I mean, they make everything like pretty crappy.
It's that Timu concrete, bro.
But it's not necessarily engineering on the dam that's so bad as it is they're constantly letting it fill too high. So at 145 meters, you can't go beyond that. They take it up above that. And so they overstress it. So they've got cataclysmic problems. And that's actually where you want them. So the only thing that I think if you're going to see bombs fall on Taiwan, it'll be because the military itself, Zhang Yuxi, is trying to create an impossible problem for the CCP, and then he starts a war by himself with no oversight from the civilian leadership and consigns the CCP to a war to propel himself and the military in charge of China.
Where does Japan fall into this? I just read today that they have approved a $58 billion defense budget, which would put them now at number 3 in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they have changed their whole policy on now, not being we're just here to protect ourselves. We're going to push out into the world. Are they allied with? I mean, they're allied with us.
They haven't done that since 1940.
Right. It's a big change. So what's up with that?
You got German troops going to Poland willingly.
Dude.
So, no, Japan is a key figure in all of this. The thing I worry about most with Japan is not that they're not going to make intelligent investments with $58 billion, which would be the complete opposite that Germany's doing with their $50 billion. Mm-hmm. Hey, let's go buy tanks. Oh, that's smart. Mm-hmm. So I'm worried that Japan is where it all starts to start the financial dominoes of what's going to be the next global financial crisis. The Japanese bond markets are insane. The rates, the long yields are streaking out of control. Nobody wants Japanese debt.
Well, they're
buying it themselves.
Japan's such a unique country, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I just read a history book, but I know when I studied like the Pacific War and World War II, in 1945, Japan basically didn't have a military after that point. I mean, it was a point where we came in, Okinawa and everything else, and we started basically supporting Japan and protecting them militarily, and they had a very, very small amount. Well, when you take that amount of money and you instead have no military to invest it in, and you invest it in technology, you look what's happened to Japan over the past 70 years. Their technology has been out of control, the stuff they've done, because they haven't had a bloated defense budget that they've had to pay. So I'm interested, because I am a believer that much of our technology has been uniquely brought over from Japan because of the fact that we spend so much on defense, and we have continued to defend Japan for forever.
Sure.
That they've been able to invest in this stuff, and that we've reaped the reward of a lot of it.
Yeah.
So does this change a lot for Japan if they start reinvesting into those things?
It does, but it doesn't. They have put themselves into a demographic pickle that's almost even worse than China's. And that's why they started opening up to allowing immigrants to come in, and now they've got severe immigration, non-assimilation issues that are dealing with, and Japanese culture traditionally is very insular. And so you have that. Still, amazing innovation and technology sits in Japan, and they're very, very great allies to us. No question about it. They're not going to do anything without the United States. And traditionally, they'll have a lot of friction with the South Koreans. They don't. They set that aside because they understand we're not going to put the United States in an unnecessary pickle here. Same to some extent with South Korea, that seems to be aligning with its new president more towards China, but that's just a fever. That'll run its course and go away. Japan is a very, very big deal. It is the backstop to Taiwan security, because from Japan geographically, we can project power. We can replenish carrier groups. We have the logistics there. It is absolutely irreplaceable. So now in a nuclear contest, and by the way, the nuclear forces that are in the field in China last year got caught stealing the rocket fuel out of the rockets and using it to heat their food.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's not, things aren't good. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So the point is that if you got to the very bad place, Japan doesn't do very well at all.
Okay.
But then neither does anybody, because when one nuke goes off, they all model it out.
Well, it's just a shitty scenario for anybody.
Yeah.
For us to drop a first nuke, I would just be horrified, because there's so many issues when that happens.
You'd be horrified for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. And then I wouldn't be here?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like when you do stuff like that, we're now entering something that as much as we can project, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. We've tested things, but we don't know how it's going to go when something like that happens. I mean, it could be globally effective in hours. It could be,
Well, and maybe China's used all their rocket fuel cooking
They-
food.
They all model out. The way it models, just not going to get into classified, but the way it models is one nuke goes, everybody uses them. Everybody uses them.
and that's crazy.
All those scenarios play out the same way.
I think, is that when the aliens step in and just stop everything right there?
You'd hope for that.
Yeah.
My friend Stephen Greer, if you'll listen to my podcast, you can catch that episode where I interview Stephen Greer.
Dangerous intellectuals.
He will tell you that, we have mistreated some extraterrestrials over the years.
Oh,
So,
no.
I don't think there's a lot of goodwill there. But
Blaine, is North Idaho a target?
no. But there's this other thing in Spokanistan called Fairchild Air Force Base where I used to serve.
Oh, perfect.
Are we far enough away?
So I modeled that. It's an interesting question, because you would assume.
Because there's different size of nukes.
Yeah, well,
they're not going to put the biggest one on Spokane.
I assumed that Fairchild probably is targeted with an 800 kiloton weapon. Okay, and if that's
Sounds like a lot. Just saying.
I'm like, I don't know what that is. That's
Sounds like
tannerite?
a lot.
it's a lot,
What was Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
way less.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn it.
So, but
fucked.
we're not, because we're not even going to do this. We're
Okay.
not going to do this. So, the way the weather patterns look and the way that the plumes would work, we actually make it
Okay.
in Coeur d'Alene. But here's the problem: you might wish you hadn't, because the way that it works out is you'll miss the gamma waves immediately in the blast, but you're going to need to immediately have access to potassium iodide tablets within the first 2 hours.
It's in my medicine cabinet, just saying.
You got to have
Hell yeah.
two tablets within 2 hours.
Okay.
You got them?
Yeah, I got you.
And
I got you, boo.
then you need to be on 2 a day for 7 days. And then now you've got to think about the rest of your life. And the rest of your life is, I've got a lot of contamination around here. So what's my water situation? What's my shelter situation? Do I have what it takes to go out and forage and stuff? So am I
Silver
am
Valley's
I gonna
something pretty
get am I gonna get sicker and sicker over time? Well, a lot of people will. But so what I tell folks is, look, start small. Start with, how do I not die a very grisly, painful death? Okay, we'll get the pills. Start there. because thyroid cancer and sickness is a real bitch. And then move to, well, what if we got one of these suits and saw if one of these masks could make it better for us? What if we had some water that we had in a certain place that would kind of keep us sustained for a while? And then depending upon how those plumes would work, if you could go a couple of weeks, a few weeks, you might come out okay on the other side of that thing. That there will be some survivors. It just will be, these are very macabre things to talk about. I just don't see where that's going to happen. I just don't see where that's going to happen.
That's a good thing.
See,
That is a good thing.
When you guys tabletop that's what makes me nervous, right? If one sends one or there's one nuke, then they all send them. Mm-hmm. That's where I worry about zealots. The ability to appear as though that state-sponsored, right? And they send one in the name or under the...
There's your danger.
Right, where it's...
Dirty bomb?
Yeah, somebody figures that out, and they do enough work on the front end to make it look like it's state-sponsored.
False
and all
flag.
This. Absolutely. That's my fear.
That's a big fear, and it's a valid fear. These psychopaths in Europe, they want this war.
Right.
They haven't said one diplomatic thing about Russia.
Man, that's the crazy thing is when you can't recognize the enemy. I've thought about this with the concealed carry. Mm-hmm. What if I'm in Walmart and somebody pulls out a gun and starts shooting, and I ended up shooting them, but then down the aisle you see me with a gun shooting somebody, and I get shot.
That is 100% a consideration.
right?
Dude.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
you don't even know. I've
That's
thought about
mad.
it. I'm like, I'm going to drop somebody
I
and
think
drop
about that
the
all the
gun.
time. Yeah.
I can't believe there's not more blue on blue when there's active shooters, right? Just for that very reason, because everybody's dressed differently. But that's where I wonder, if there's one nuke that goes off, there almost has to be a period of time, because then it's immediate intel gathering where it'd be, okay, is this legitimate? Because the next one
We don't do it that way.
Right.
We'll see them come over the pole, and then we'll respond.
Yeah.
It's use them or lose them.
Right.
And so,
I get it, because you lose.
but
you
now,
can't delay.
let me make it worse for you.
Yeah. That's good. Good. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, send it.
So now let's make them all hypersonic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you had 25 minutes of response. Now do you understand why President Trump would like to own Greenland?
Yeah.
Because if you were able to put a hypersonic nuclear tip missile on Greenland, the president has how much time to decide what to do? A minute? 2? 3? 4? What?
That's crazy. So he's just buying a minute. Like, that's wild.
And I mean, we have missile defense here, right?
Oh, yeah, we've got that.
But it won't stop hypersonic?
No.
It's crap, huh? Okay.
We got to work on that.
Okay.
But here's the cool part. We have stuff that the Russians know we have, and it deters them. So we're behind in the hypersonics game. Are we behind in space? I don't think so. Are we behind in other things? No. But there's a tenuous balance of power. So now, we've just talked about the big dangerous world. Now go back and read the national security strategy, and it'll make a whole lot of damn sense to you. Because what President Trump sees, what reasonable people, not neocons, see, is we're heading as a society to a place where we're literally going to kill each other. And it'll be over some stupid miscalculation or somebody's jihad.
Right.
So what we got to do is change the equation completely. That, I mean, look at the Middle East peace process. All they've done is wash, rinse, repeat for the past, 80 years. And the only thing that happens is the globalists get rich. That's it. That's all that happens. So what we want to move to is a demilitarized foreign policy. What we want to move to is, hey, raise a military, make it the sharpest stick you can, and have a great military, and let's all just pray you never use it. And when you come here to talk about your differences with Russia, why don't we lead with, hey, shouldn't we be doing a joint venture in that coal mine you got there? That's
Trade.
That exactly.
We can all prosper.
That's where peace lies, and free trade that's not crony capitalism, monopolistic trade, or my name's Rockefeller, I have to own all the oil in the world. It can't be that. It has to be, a lot of people are going to win here in this deal.
Is that's why we're not there now? Is because these puppeteers are up there and they're making money.
Look
no
at
matter
BlackRock.
what happens.
Look at BlackRock. Mm-hmm. We're buying everything in sight. Look at your real estate game. Look at your real estate game.
I can safely say I have never sold a house to a Chinese
I appreciate
national. I'm just
that.
saying, I've never
tell
done
you-
it.
But if you get upside down in a house, and a whole row of them do,
Yeah.
or we have a downturn and people can't make their house payments,
BlackRock comes in.
BlackRock will swoop right in. So the point is, you can't allow these monopolies to exist. Well, why do they let them exist? There should be antitrust action on these too big to fail companies, and there should be capitalism. I'm guessing there's one or two politicians on both sides of the aisle that are paid off. Maybe
Right.
maybe one or
Shocker.
maybe one or two.
Shocker.
Well, look at the 50-year mortgage that's coming out. I'll tell you what. Like
I think that's
I've
such
told people
BS.
straight up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that I can, in good conscience. I'm out of business. I don't think I can, in good conscience, tell somebody, "Hey, you should buy a house with a 50-year mortgage." I don't think I can do it. I think I would turn around and say, "Hey, let's look at dollar for dollar, and I think you should rent."
Not if you plan on keeping it that whole time, right?
Even that 50 years, who does? Nobody does.
Nobody does.
Right? It doesn't
Here's
make
what
sense.
I was thinking. If you take the 50-year and you rent it out to somebody else, but the 50-year payment is so low that you can cash flow it.
That makes sense. But I'm talking about for yourself, for people that are
I get it. I'm just thinking about my kids
Yeah.
and what would I advise them
Right.
to do
Just-
or how to actually get a house.
right. Actually, investors or people
Yeah.
that are like, "I want this for myself."
Yeah.
I don't think I could advise people. I don't think I would have the good faith to turn around and say, "Hey, I think you should take out a 50-year mortgage."
Yeah. What you'd be
Fuck that.
What you'd be better off doing? Take a 15-year mortgage with a balloon payment on the back ass.
Yeah.
Just take the 15, have a payment that you can hack, and then throw the balloon on the back end of that. And during the course of the loan, you're going to have to find other means to pay for this house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll probably sell it before then anyway, right?
Yeah. Oh well, the young ones would. I mean, right now I'm looking at once this house is built, that's it, man.
Done.
I don't. It's
going into trust.
I don't
Yeah.
say that anymore, but yeah, I get it. I don't want to move again, but I'll never say.
I
this
just
is
bought my house.
forever.
Every time I've said
Second
never,
time.
every time I've said never, it's
Yes.
not worked out.
Yeah.
For the second time, I don't have water. So, Paul, if you're watching this, I would take a shower at your house tonight if I could. So, there you go. Oh boy.
Okay, I have some questions about the future of warfare. I know we're taking a little bit of a different turn here, but
I have
I was
questions about
recently listening to a podcast with Palmer Luckey, who owns Anduril, which is
Yeah.
so Palmer Luckey,
Tony Stark?
he developed Oculus when he was like 17 or something.
Tell him I want a refund.
He's a billionaire
Shit
now.
doesn't
He's
work.
young and he's like eccentric and seems like a pretty cool guy. I don't know where his heart's at. I've never met him, but and now he owns Anduril, which is a defense contractor company, and he's building. He's built cruise missiles that are a fraction of the parts of a current cruise missile, way cheaper, autonomous fighter jets, things like that. He's built this helmet that is like a heads-up display, so special forces guys can see the entire battlefield through their helmet, like crazy shit. Super cool dude. But I'm like, how's this going to change future warfare?
He's taking warfare in a direction that it's going to naturally go. There is a technological path for warfare that we would not pin on a Palmer Luckey or, Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or anybody. If you have adversaries in this world, you have to develop at the very highest level of technology that you can. There are dangers. That's why people will say, well, when are we going to get pilots out of the airplanes forever? It's like, never. We're never going to do that. The reason is because what if I could hack your airplane and turn it around and bomb you with your own airplane? So there has to be safeguards in this. My concern now, Palmer Luckey, the things that he is doing at Anduril, which are exceptional, is he's negotiating with the government on contracts in what I find to be a very refreshing way. He's doing acquisition what I think is the right way. As I stand up my own company, Xeriant, Xeriant.com, that's Xeriant.
Hit it.
Yeah, but as we stand up these companies, that's the model I think people should follow into. We don't want to have monopolies in our supply chains. We don't want to sell the government another widget after I made the super widget and I got the big contract. We want to keep innovation going. It's a win-win. It's a win for the government because we'll keep brand new technology in your hands, and at the same time, once we've given it to you, we're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. Some of the things that they've got under development make Star Wars look primitive.
Yeah.
They've got sensor packages that
Wild shit.
wild stuff. Sensor packages, drone suites, everything talking to everything. And I think that's what he does really well. Is it doesn't matter what he makes; it can talk to all of his stuff.
That's cool.
And but there's some dangers here, and the dangers are. Now I'd like you to think about some of the AI whiz kids, like what's his face? Let's see, ChatGPT.
Wow. I'm blanking too.
Lost me. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, now I can't get sued. The thing about some of these folks is they're developing products that are absolutely going to have military applications, and yet they don't know jack shit about the profession of arms, diplomacy, foreign policy, macroeconomics, the geopolitical tectonic plates. if you look at Alex Karp at Palantir, he just thinks it's cool to do surveillance on every man, woman, and child. If you look at Larry Ellison at Oracle, he'll just tell you, well, then don't do bad things or think bad thoughts, and you'll just be fine. Constitution much?
Yeah. Orson Welles.
In other words, they're free of the morality of what they're developing, and I find that reprehensible.
Yes.
And I think it's extremely dangerous for us. So those are the kids that I would say are on their way to Skynet. Those are the kids that are on their way, look, we built a sentient computer. What could go wrong? The computer doesn't like you.
They're
That's
not,
one problem.
They're not focused on the ethics of it for sure.
No.
Right? They're nerds, and they're like, we can do this. Let's try
Well,
it.
who can take
even-
it the furthest, the fastest?
Even
Who
even
can
the
take
fact
it to
that
the
you
next
know
level?
there's a motivation to know that somebody's going to develop it.
Yeah.
So if you can be the first one, that's exciting for people,
Right.
right?
Well,
it's going to
yeah.
happen regardless of whether they do it or somebody else
Right.
does.
Well, here in
So
Coeur
who could be
d'Alene,
the
here in
first?
Coeur d'Alene, drive to every intersection, you'll find a
Camera.
Exactly, and 7 times over, you'll find a license plate. Read it.
Yeah.
Well, those are Flock products. And then on the Palantir side, now they're getting into Gotham, which has the pre-policing modules. So how'd you like somebody to knock on the door and go, hey, the algorithm says you're thinking about robbing a bank, or you're thinking about offing your wife?
There was a movie
That's
about
not
this.
true.
What was
They're
that movie?
only used
Minority
for
Report.
statistics.
That's it.
Minority Report.
Minority Report.
Okay.
They're just statistics. Okay, that's
I
it.
wish there were a way.
So then Kamala Harris gets in, and what happens?
Yes. because like crimes are solved really fast with things like Flock, right? If my child gets abducted and they catch this shitbag in 30 minutes
Sure.
because of Flock, I love that. I
love
wish
that
there
too.
were a way to protect it. There should be a way to protect our privacy.
I don't think there's enough energy worked on that other side.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of work done on let's go find the bad guy, and there's so many honest applications of that.
Well, that's the thing. Like you just highlighted something that nobody on the planet wants to see happen. My kid being abducted. So you hide under that. You say, we're going to put these out here so that everybody, like if your kid gets abducted, we can do this. But that's not what the main point of the application is. It's surveillance. It's being able to watch people.
Right.
But yes, everybody hides under
Someone's
that.
going to call
because
me
that's
out on
it.
that. I know, and I don't know where I stand on this.
But that
I'm
same person that calls
still
you out would say, I don't want my kid abducted. If you can use
I don't
Flock,
know
get
where
them
I
out of it.
stand on it either, Seth. What I want is people working on that.
Yeah.
And I don't see any work on that. I don't see any...
Who's
where
phone?
the,
Is that? Are you?
where the hell...
My phone's off.
Where the hell's the ACLU? It was mine. Where the hell's
okay.
the ACLU?
I'll yell
Where,
at you.
where
I'll
the
yell at
hell are
these
these
guys.
people who used to stand up and say, oh, no, we're for civil liberties? Well, prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah.
And get the politics out of this crap. We're not Republicans and Democrats. We're Americans. Act like it. There's a document. It's called the Fourth Amendment. I've got rights. Oh, well, yeah, but you were caught in camera. It's
Is
like,
there-
you don't have a right to film me.
Is there even a way to balance it? Is there a way?
There has to be. I'm
to
certain
use
that there
that
has to be.
technology?
Let's ask Grok right now.
Yeah.
So there's Blaine. Let me ask you this: you were obviously in a very high level in the government, right? I mean, you've met presidents. You've been in a position to where you can make decisions that affect the entire nation. Ultimately, do you believe that there's technology that you have not been made privy to?
Well, since the time that I've retired, oh, absolutely.
How about when you were in? Do you think there was
A
anything
few things
out there?
A few things, absolutely a few things. But I had a really wonderful job.
Right.
I was in a studies group. So the funny part was I got kicked out of the Air War College. But nobody really gets kicked out of the Air War College. So
Right.
what they do is they move you to another part of the campus where the other cool kids are not. So Colonel Holt's with the pile of misfit toys over here.
Yeah.
But the Misfit Toys project was really cool. It was doing the futures study for the chief of staff and the secretary for 30 years out on what we did a deep futures look into what are all these technological strands going? What do we have? Where will that be? Will we be able to meet the adversary in, say, 2035, 2040? And then 4 plausible combat scenarios where you could see Russia goes freak out, China does this or whatever. But along that path, we got to fly around and go meet a lot of really big brain people about where things are going. So you get to see a little leg about some of the things that I might not have been read onto. But what I can also say is in a period of exponential technology, I've been retired now for 10 years, that curve has gone up so much. So the stuff that came online after I got out, I have talked to a 3-star. We're very dear friends. I'm going to have him on my podcast soon. Lieutenant General Stephen Quast.
What's your podcast, by the way, so people know?
Dangerous Intellectuals. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We want to pump that. We love
Yeah.
having you on here, so we're all about supporting it. Absolutely.
So come to dangerousintellectuals.com, and tomorrow you'll see Jonathan Gilliam, our favorite SEAL and FBI agent and Air Marshal, Snake Eater.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through the Maduro drop. But on the technology side, the things that Stephen Quast will tell you is they'll just blow your mind. They'll absolutely blow your mind. He's the one that was on some video podcast where he's making a speech and he got everybody's eyebrows raised. He said, shoot, right now, today, I could be in Australia in 10 minutes if I wanted to be. And everybody's like,
Wait, what?
I
What
know,
the fuck?
I know. And I'm going killer. His call sign's Killer. And I'm like, Killer, I don't think you're supposed to be talking about
Okay, we're going to Australia in February, and it's going to take us 15 hours.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you can help a brother out,
10 minutes would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Seth has a little bit of anxiety.
I don't like flying.
How do you feel about
Xanax,
teleporting?
everything else. We're going to fly for like a total of like
Sitting here with a
21
guy who made a
hours.
career out of flying, and I don't like flying, and I'm just honest about it.
Well, Killer and I had a really cool mission together. He was the base commander of Bagram in Afghanistan, and with the F-15Es, and I was the base commander up in Kyrgyzstan, just two countries to the north, with my tanks, the KC-135. It's an oldie but a goodie. We fly it here at Fairchild, and there I was. I'm over northern Afghanistan, and I've got this brand new to the theater crew with me, who came in from the Nebraska Guard, and they're trying to follow all the procedures. They're worried like hell that the colonel's on board with them. And, oh, geez, I got to show this guy that I know what I'm doing. And so I'm sitting in the seat, and all of a sudden we hear this distress call from an F-15E. And he goes, Shell 87, Shell 87. Come up. This is Ranger 5-2, and it's like, oh, I know that voice. That's Killer. He's a one-star general. But I didn't tell the crew that. And he goes, you guys got to come to these coordinates right now, immediately. We've got troops in contact below that point. I need you to meet me with gas. Now, he's on our dance card to give him gas, but like in an hour or two from now. And so we've already got two F-15s behind us getting gas. And so I look at the pilot, the major from the Nebraska Guard, and I go, so what are you going to do? He goes, well, sir, I'll coordinate with Pyramid, call the AWACS, I'll go do this, and I'll make this phone call here. We'll make a request. And I go, no, you're going to go there right now. And he goes, sir, we can't do that. And I go, so trivia question. Who owns a third of the tankers over Afghanistan right now at this moment? And he goes, well, that's you, sir. And I go, uh-huh.
Where do you think those calls
And I
will go?
Including this one. And he goes, yes, sir. Go there now. And he's like, we're breaking a lot of rules. And I go, I know.
They're mine.
We're going to break them.
I'm sorry. I'm still caught up, and I'm cracking. I'm like crying over here laughing.
And so
10 minutes to Australia. Come on.
so he starts turning back. He starts turning back towards the point where we're going to go pick them up. We get rid of the other two customers. Sorry, guys. Got to go. See you another time. And then I know that the boom operator in the back, he's from this guy's unit. They know each other. I know he's going to be like, oh, mommy and daddy had a fight. And so I run back there to kind of sit back with him in the boom pod area. And I go, and he's a staff sergeant. I go, so how you doing? And he goes, hi, sir. How are things? And I go, well, they're interesting. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to do things a little non-standard. We're going to go to this area, and one F-15E, he's going to come in like a bat out of hell. Now, you like people to come in at about 265 knots. He's coming in at 500. And you would normally say, break away, break away, break away, and call a separation, because that would be the safe thing to do. We're not doing that. He's going to come in here, full afterburners, cut the power. He's going to throw the landing gear out. The speed breaks. He'll put his hands out if it stops him quicker. And then he's going to come up and he's going to pop onto the boom. Now, we're only supposed to give him 14,000 pounds of gas. We're going to give him 24. Okay? Because he's going to be bone dry. And then he's going to leave and go do something. That's why he's calling us. And he's going to come back, even though he's not supposed to. And we're going to give him another 10,000 to send him home because he won't have any gas when he comes back. And he's like, okay. And
cool.
And so, just like I had told him, here comes Killer, General Quast, screaming in. Speed brake comes out, the landing gear comes out, pops on.
Did his hands come out?
No, that did not happen.
Yeah. I just want to know.
I want to be factual. I want to be factual. So he gets on the boom and he's telling my boom operator and the pilot, he goes, "Oh my God, thank you guys for kind of bending things and being here for me and all that." I go, "Hey, Killer, it's Blaino." And he goes, "Dude." I go, "Dude." and he goes, "I'm so glad it's you." And all the staff sergeants looking down at the pilot in the F-15 Eagle, and you see the stars on his shoulders. He's like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
And he's telling the pilot on the intercom system. He goes, "This is a general we got back here." And
He was flying?
oh yeah, and then
Oh
you
my
see,
God.
and then you see on his wing, he's got every bomb known to mankind on that wing. He's a bomb truck at this point. He is loaded for bear.
Hell yeah.
He goes, "Okay, dude, this is the setup. You got a fob. You got like 10 of our army guys. There's 150 Taliban moving in on them right now, and I've got them in the open air." He goes, "So I'm going to need a little bit more gas." I said, "You're getting 24." He goes, "Oh, that's awesome." And I said,
I'm good.
and he goes, "All right, and then I'm going to rip away from here. And can I come back?" And I go, "Yep, we got another 14 for you." And he goes, "Okay." So, so then
Bleeding a tanker dry.
oh no, plenty. so then he gets off and he rolls inverted. Also not really copacetic.
Damn,
and we
looks
see
cool.
the flames come out of the burners right in front of our eyes, and he goes zing right on down. And then
Cool factor is really high.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Oh,
so then 15 minutes later, he's right up in behind us.
So I'm not gay, but I would like to meet this guy.
And so he's going to come to Coeur d'Alene. I'll bring him by.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
All right, he doesn't get to sit next to Dave.
Get me and him a hotel room where we're fine.
Yeah.
So
My goodness.
So Killer comes up, and the one thing that's changed is his wing is completely empty. It's a clean wing.
Yeah.
And I go, "How'd it go down there?" He goes, "Oh, it was so good."
Was it good for you?
He goes, "It was so good." He goes, "Our guys are going to sleep well tonight." And
Yeah.
I said, "That's wonderful." And he said, I said, "You're getting 14. He goes, "That's all I need. I'm fine."
Yeah.
And so then he goes back to Bagram. I don't really even, we've been to a lot of commanders conferences together, but I don't even see him until he's in the Pentagon. Now he's wearing 3 stars. I'm selected for my first star. And I see him at ground zero, which is the center point of the Pentagon. We just bump into each other. And it's, dude.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "If you guys didn't do that day, you know what I was going to do." I said, "I know. It's a rental."
Yeah.
Here, it's a rental. He goes, "Yeah, I would." He was going to go spank him anyway, and then just take his happy parachute after ejection,
Right.
and walk back to Bagram.
Yeah.
But
Is that rare for a general to be dropping bombs on people?
no, we want our wing commanders. We want our wing commanders flying, and some of those wing slots are general officer slots.
Hell yeah.
And
That's
honestly, we're going to return our Air Force to this now. General Wilsbach, our new chief of staff, he wants more generals flying. And it's not that he wants them flying to go prove, "Look, I'm still the man." If you can't do the mission, how do you know what it looks like with your kids? How do you know
Yeah.
what they're going through? How do you know what their training's going through?
So this is the disassociation that we have in everything, from public safety all the way up to the military, right? You have people that have forgotten or don't know. You know, there's a certain point where you can actually promote out of the technology
That's right.
to where you don't know what to expect with what you have.
Right.
As a paramedic, as simple as that is, I'd have people telling me how to run my job, and I'm like, you don't even know the protocols that I have right now. You've never even utilized.
Right.
Why are you telling me how to do these things when you have never done them?
Right.
You can promote out, and things change so fast. So I love that. I think that's actually.
I think it'll change the way that we promote in the military.
Well, we're going to get rid of nepotism. We're in the process of working on that right now.
I'm looking forward to that because
Yeah,
I've seen
no more bake sale colonels.
Right.
So, I ran the air show. Okay, well, that's just marvelous.
or
love the air show.
you tested well and then you performed well on a board for one day,
I
right?
know,
Like
I get it.
That's
and it's in the NCO core too, and it needs to get changed.
Yes, consistency of credibility, I think, is important.
There's no question.
Everybody needs to know that you are like the ground level.
We had shiny pockets when I was in Kyrgyzstan.
yeah.
And one of my favorite 4-star generals, probably my favorite 4-star general, Duncan McNabb, he was the Air Mobility Command commander. All the big jets, got them all. And he came out to see us, check up on the Blaino.
Yeah.
And he visited. And then, and so he came in, he had all his staff. We're going through everything that we're working on. He's like, "Well, you're keeping General Petraeus happy. This is all fine. Good. Yep, Blaino, I'm excited. Everything's going good here." So then what does General McNabb do? General McNabb, I drive him in his car. I take him right out to a C-17. He gets into the left seat, straps that damn thing to his ass. It's a 4-star general, and the 4-star general is going to go fly a combat mission into Bagram. And he flies into Bagram and lands and then takes off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's my Billy Badass. I love that.
Yeah, but all the guys,
you know what?
all the guys there that are on base are looking at that going, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted them all to see it. I brought as
Yep.
many people out to the bases so that they could all tell the story. I saw that damn 4-star get up and fly that damn
Well,
airplane.
that's the thing,
Right.
right? You see so many times, you see somebody that is up in the position that's giving you orders and they can't do what you do.
That's right.
So when you can see somebody do it, there's silence.
Yep.
There's immediate
In
credibility.
Kyrgyzstan, for me, flying that mission every Saturday morning was like taking the edge off because my problems were so significant on the base all week long that it was, I can't wait.
Yeah, let's go hit the street. Yeah.
It's like, so to take the edge off, you're going and flying a combat mission.
Yes. Yes.
That's the edge? Good God.
I-
so I brought this up in a previous
Yeah.
podcast.
Now remember, I had a revolution.
Oh, go ahead.
I had a revolution in Kyrgyzstan. I put
What
that
is
damn
this?
country back together again.
Really?
Oh yeah, we had.
I know where Kyrgyzstan is. I
we-
played with
we
a
had-
game online. And I know
We had.
I have no idea.
Over the year that I was there, we had a
look it up right
massacre. We had a massacre in Alito Square, and basically all the relationships that my team had put together to stay in Kyrgyzstan because they were trying to evict us, this corrupt regime. They had killed 70. They had 2,000 were injured, and then I helped put the interim leader in power, and I put the country back. Helped put the country back
How do
together.
you spell Kyrgyzstan?
KYRGYZ.
Got
Z,
it.
there's a Z in there. Yeah.
Got
I
it.
played this game where I have to type all 196 countries and you have to spell them out correctly. And I have 15 minutes to write all 196 countries. I've been able to
It's
do it.
surrounded by a bunch of
It's landlocked.
Stands.
It's
whatevers
landlocked.
that are made up, I'm convinced.
Yep.
There's no one that actually lives in
South
a really
of
good
Russia,
MMA
Do you know
off
what?
of Mongolia.
Do you know what? It's a gorgeous nation, and if I put you in Bishkek, you would go.
Oh, I
my-
see Bishkek on here.
Oh my gosh, it's like Coeur d'Alene.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh no, they have. If taking a walk in the Alito Mountains, there's nothing.
There's a big
like
lake.
It. It's just
Yeah.
that's Lake Issaquah. That's Lake Issaquah.
All right, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
I think that's where a lot of MMA
crazy.
fighters are coming from right now. Kyrgyzstan.
So let me ask you a question. Going back to Maduro, since we'll kind of go full circle real quick. Now, I know there was talk about some association, I'll just say that, with the Trump administration and a few different things. But if you had Trump's direct ear and he said, Blaine, I'm looking at taking Maduro. I'm going to kidnap him. I'm going to bring him back to the U.S. Would you have advised him to do that?
Yes.
He said it in the last podcast. I listened to it yesterday, and he forecast this. That was super interesting. Can I give a quick breakdown? Because I've heard this. A couple people say we just kidnapped the president of Venezuela, right? And that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what they're projecting.
It's a headline.
Yeah, but I look at it like this, and you tell me where I'm jacked up. Here's the way my thought process go. I told you I kind of have a real strong feeling about cartels. Like we talk about how we need people in political power to be altruistic, and they actually need to think about the right thing. The cartels are the exact opposite. They don't care. It is all about money. They don't care who they kill, who they hurt, who they murder, or what countries they destroy, or whatever. They don't care. This was not capturing Nicolás Maduro, the president of Venezuela. He was also the leader of the Cartel del Sols, which is the cartel of the sun.
Yeah.
Son.
Cartel of the
Soul.
Suns. That's what it
Yeah.
was. So he is an openly the leader of the.
And openly an illegitimate president.
Yes, because he was voted.
And this is the home of Dominion and Smartmatic.
Right.
So now you're getting to the number one reason that I would tell President Trump go get his ass.
Right. And
Because we're going to go ahead and bring all of that evidence out, which we are.
Right.
By the way, I know that from a special friend. And the other part is we're going to then learn all about the swamp and a lot of the people who make money by other ways.
yes. And
this is so important for our country in the upcoming midterms, don't you
Is
think?
that's why the FBI
Right.
the FBI was there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
But
that was an
there's-
interesting detail.
There's so much talk about how Venezuela is primarily cocaine, and I could get into the fentanyl stuff
Does anybody do cocaine anymore?
Cocaine is legit. If you had pure cocaine,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. That hasn't been seen since the 80s.
But the issue is,
Pure cocaine, dude.
don't
It's
make that
a
anymore.
natural substance.
but now it's all the same. And the Cartel de los Sols is not just Venezuela. They kind of openly use their military for those reasons, but it also connects to Mexico,
illicit
Colombia.
activity on
Yes.
the planet every bad thing. If you don't find cocaine a problem, maybe you'll find child trafficking a problem. If that's not a problem, maybe you'll find organ harvesting a problem. If that's not a problem, maybe the shadow bankers and the folks who want to make you own nothing and be happy too.
Yeah, and I can't not think that at some point we're also looking at this going, yeah, Mexico, what's up? Like this spans across multiple countries. This was not just
Did you see
Venezuela.
the look on her face today?
Oh yeah.
She looks. Come on. She does.
Yeah.
She looks a little out of sorts.
Let's be honest.
A little bit.
What border does Venezuela share with the U.S.? None.
Right.
It's Mexico.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So there's got to be some.
It's a total squeeze play.
Right.
Petro in Colombia
Yep.
and Scheinbaum in Mexico, and then Nicaragua and Haiti have problems.
Right.
Mexico
And
needs
Cuba's gonna fall.
Nicaragua. Yep. Absolutely.
Mexico needs to get on our side right now. They really, really do because
And
they
that-
share our border, and 90% of things come across the border.
That's why I think this was such an advanced play. Like you got to go way deeper than
It
just.
is. It's a very nice chess move.
Yeah.
But and look, when we first put the crowd pleaser right off their shores, the Ford, they they immediately, what happens in day 3? They call all of their shadowy friends around the world and they scream bloody murder. We scoop out all that signals intelligence and we process it. And then you got these clowns over at MI6 in the UK. Oh, they're a legitimate organization. And they say, we're not going to share intel with you anymore on the Caribbean. Well, wait a minute. What about the special relationship? What happened there? I thought we were buddies.
Yeah.
Are we still using the Navajo for translation?
No, but I wish we were.
No.
I wish we were.
Cool. We're trustworthy.
I'll tell you what, we could use Kyrgyz.
Yeah.
I learned Kyrgyz. That's a bitch.
Kyrgyz?
Yeah, it's a bitch of a language.
Where did that come from?
It's Turkic. It's Turkic. And then when when the Soviets took over, they had all of the they said you can keep your language, but we're converting it to Cyrillic. So it looks like it's Russian. It's not Russian. It's Turkic.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's another fun fact for you.
I can't even speak
So
Spanish.
General Petraeus, at the end of the whole thing, I asked General Petraeus, I said, let me stay another year. We're making some progress here. He goes, no, you went native. And I go,
What's your
I didn't go native.
Blaine, you're
What's
never
your
gonna
thoughts on
leave.
Petraeus? Where is
Yeah.
he now?
He's good. He's making a lot of money at KKR, and he's doing well. But when I was asking him this, I said, listen, sir, we're making a lot of progress here. This is a very important, it's a rough neighborhood. We got Iran, China, Afghanistan. Come on. And he was like, there's Lawrence of Arabia, and there's Blaino of Bishkek.
If I leave here for a year, you're never leaving.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a name from somebody that was at the Pentagon and just kind of gauge based on your facial expression what you thought of them?
What?
Millie. Okay, copy that. I was just when we go back to the military and the way I did a PSA with him at one point in time and spent some time around him and was just had a certain.
The first time I met him, he was full bird Colonel Milley. Let's talk about the positives. He's got a very high sense of self-esteem.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Even though he looked
That's
like,
what Seth says about me.
He's
even though he looked like a melted candle, I was very shocked at how highly he thought of himself.
he's got a robust appetite
Yeah.
for life.
Yeah. It checks out. Checks out. Okay, I was just curious from somebody else. That's
so he knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we see him in the media more often in the coming days.
Oh, that'd be well. He was the chairman and Joint Chiefs of Staff, so I had to go do something over, and I was in Bangor.
Always a friend to the Chinese people.
Yeah.
you gotta admire that.
Well, it's a significant population. If you're playing percentages, they might be lying about their population numbers, but I was just curious what your thoughts were. I'm hoping that the way the military is going, I would
love to see him in orange.
Yeah,
Very good color for him.
yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
I think it really would accent. Yeah.
You
the
know,
facial features.
actually, in Phoenix, it's pink. So they put you, they put you in
cool.
bright pink. What's up?
Well, that's cool. I like that.
I do. I like it. They put you out in the desert and they make you.
That could be a
freaking-
crime deterrent.
Crack
It's
rocks
pretty
into
neat. Yeah,
smaller rocks.
exactly. They put you in bright
Who's the
pink.
sheriff down there?
Oh, gosh, I can't remember. I can't even-
Arapaho?
Is that it?
Arapaho?
no.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's
I
close
can't
to
even
it.
remember
No.
the county.
Sheriff-
What county is it?
Joe
Arpaio.
Arpaio.
Yeah, he's retired now.
Yeah,
We were
okay.
close.
They ran
Yeah.
his butt right out
What
of
county
office.
is it?
Mesa.
It's not Mesa
No,
County.
it's not. It's
It's something else.
We're Idaho guys. We're all acting like we're Arizona.
Yeah,
Knowledge.
I know.
I love it. I mean, with an
I like
Arizona.
how he did. He was doing it right down there. I felt like
He was
make it shitty.
He was telling us like, hey, if our men and women in the military can sleep in tents
Yeah.
out in 110 degrees, so can you.
And
I'll-
they
Have a
did
great
it.
day.
It was
I know.
amazing.
I'm gonna go. I got to go back to this because I really
Mariposa.
Wanna, yeah, they're Mariposa County.
Nailed it.
Nicely done.
But I'm super curious what your take on this is because I'm always concerned when we go remove somebody surgical, extremely impressive. But when we go remove somebody in the manner that we did, it creates this huge power vacuum, right? And I was listening to a reporter down there, and she's talking about the 4 people that are in play to take that. That's concerning, right? Like if there's no plan in place, I'm sure there is. But
Yeah.
where do you think that's going to
So
go?
Rubio kind of showed a little leg on this today. The vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, thinks that she's going to be now the new leader and be in charge for forever.
Right.
But she's been a little hostile towards us as well. Not really a fan. More of a fan of Hezbollah, really. And she loves communism. You got to give her that.
Yeah.
So what I believe that has happened is, and I do know this through some sources, is she is playing ball with us to an extent. And that ball that she's going to play, and Rubio kind of laid it out today, is you're the temporary leader. There are going to be elections. There'll be elections soon. Venezuela will pick its leader. And then you're going to also deport all of the Hezbollah agents in your country immediately. And by the way, we know who they are. And so she'll do that, or then if she doesn't want to do that, then the president will enact what he called last night the second wave, which is, okay, well, maybe you'd like to have a reunion with the guys. They'd love to come back and see you.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to track that way. You're going to see a little bit of chaos. I am seeing some signs in the population that they're starting to form little militias and groups, and then they got guns, and so we'll see how this is. It could be a little chaotic in the transition, but I think it's going to go okay.
Does that mean there's a bunch of 18-year-old Marines about to go get some?
They're wanting to. They're wanting to.
Of course they are. They're Marines.
One afternoon in Kyrgyzstan, I had 1,500 Marines protecting us because they were transit guests, world's largest bed and breakfast. But we had from the revolution, we had a column of armored vehicles coming up to the gate, and we didn't know whether they were friendlies or foes. And so I put the Marines on the gate and opened up my armory, and they were ready. But at the last minute, we found out, nope, these are revolutionaries. They're good. We're going to let them pass. As soon as I said that on giant voice, you saw so many pissed off young men.
Damn, I know.
So I had to go out there and, it worked out well, guys. Thank you for this. The rec center's down here. We still have Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They were wonderful. They were marvelous.
Well, that's better to hear because that is one thing with this administration. This would not have been a move where it's just done to appease somebody in the public or just to make a scene. There is going to be a plan and something structured to ensure.
There is an after plan. I do know that. Cool. I do know that. There is, and it could get messy on a tourniquet basis. I see you chose unwisely. Now we got to do this to you.
Right.
But I don't see it. I think they actually have thought through the elements of after the shock and awe piece. If you'll recall Iraq, we did shock and awe, and then we're like, okay.
What do we do with our hands? Yeah.
Well, that part of the plan's done.
So
What do you got?
Maduro is in the U.S. He's in custody of the U.S.
Yeah.
And he's facing narco-terrorism, quite a few other charges.
Yeah.
Which I read today based off of the United States international law could be a minimum of 20 years.
Yeah.
Nothing about death penalty or anything else.
Right.
So if him and Celia, is it Celia?
Yeah.
Celia, get sentenced to, let's say, life in prison.
And the son.
In the U.S., how does that, what is the expected response from the global community on that?
Well, so the president's detractors are going to say this is illegal. This constitutes an act of war. This is POW.
The liberals.
Yeah, they're going to. Well, the liberals and the neocons.
Gavin Newsom.
No, there's a lot of Republicans going after the president on this as well.
I'm trying to get Gavin Newsom on this podcast, but I don't think we'll keep trying.
Let's just take a moment.
I would love it. He would
Gavin
sit with his
Newsom.
legs.
Yes.
I'd be like,
Please.
please uncross your legs. It's not man.
No, actually, he'd be doing this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
guns.
yeah,
I love guns. Yeah.
So what? If we had to hold him, what we hold Noriega, I think, for like 20 years or something like that. What I think is going to happen is he's going to disappear into some witness protection program after he gives up a whole lot of things which he's got.
Really?
That's just one man's opinion. I'm just speculating.
This guy's gonna
I don't know that at all.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you he's really valuable. Now, when we think about, could he commit Epstein suicide?
Oh, Gary. Oh.
I don't
Because
What do you mean
Epstein?
Epstein.
Well, there's two types of
suicide.
suicides. There's the friendly suicide where I just kind of take my own life, right?
Real suicide.
And then there's the other kind. There's the Epstein suicide where I'm 6'5" and there's no way I could physically hang myself in this room, and yet I did it.
And you crush you crush your own trachea.
In other circles, that might be called a homicide.
Well,
in other circles,
Yeah,
all right?
Everybody's got
I
a
just
different
wanted
opinion.
to clarify.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
Epstein killed himself. So
Well,
I'd ask.
I would tend to agree with you. I mean, when you look at where this guy came from,
He's too valuable.
Well,
and we're talking trillions of dollars.
he was a bus driver and a union guy. The dude's negotiated before. He all of a sudden ended up Hugo Chavez's like heir apparent. So the guy knows how to negotiate. So I would assume there's still some of that in there. He's not going to want to sit in prison.
You got to love the
balls.
irony. You got to love the irony of replaying Al Pacino.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Come get me,
Oh,
come get me." It's like,
amazing.
okay, your wish is
so
Yes.
your wish is my command.
Hold my beer.
Meet the 160th store.
Yeah.
what
amazing.
about your faith in the Attorney General? I mean,
Let's put it this way. Here, let me give you a fun fact.
Okay.
fact. Stats on arrests for this administration: President Trump 1, Pam Bondi 0.
okay. So how's Pam Bondi going to do with Maduro in custody?
I don't know. I don't know if Pam Bondi's around.
Is she gonna have a
I've
job?
seen a lot of
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff saying that they're going to hold him accountable and
Yeah.
everything else. But where are we going to go with this? Is he going to get time? Is he not?
Or do we do a military thing? Because
know what that
you
means.
you can make the
Throw him out of an airplane.
you can make the argument that he's not going to be tried for narco-terror. You can make the argument that he is an enemy combatant in killing Americans, and his weapon was narcotics. And so you could sit there and say, Article 2, Section 2, we're not going to try him in a civilian court, so get lost, Southern District of New York. We're taking him down to Gitmo, and we're going to properly try him as a prisoner of war.
Well, Cartel de los Sols was designated as a terrorist organization.
I did see that.
that's why-
I think so. The president has some optionality here. The problem at the bigger scope is we can go round up all the evidence in the world, and you see evidence from Doge and everything else, the Somali thing being paraded out in front of you, but nobody's perp walked.
Okay.
And so
That's the most
we're either going to
frustrating.
change out the Department of Justice and fire Susie Wiles, or we're not. We're going to do one or the other. But my advice, if I had the ear of the president, would be that the midterms cometh, and if you're going to start the season of accountability, you better step on the gas now, because they'll have you impeached by June of next year.
So Trump listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So you
That's
have his
good.
ear right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's listening to every
You
one.
can
honestly.
bet as soon as this publishes, I will have it on his Truth
Yeah,
Social.
no, absolutely. He stops his day and he listens to North Idaho podcast. So he's always wanted to live here. So
Well,
Trump, if you're looking to buy
Yeah.
a home, I would like to be your guy. So,
Mar-a-Lago, North
awfully-
Idaho.
have you golfed the floating green?
Awfully beautiful.
Have you? Yes.
Beautiful
Love-
people.
Been
Beautiful
It's
people
the
here.
best
been to
green
shooters down in
ever,
Rockford
ever.
Bay. Best burgers ever.
What how do you feel about these narco-terrorism or these drug running boats getting just wiped off the face of the earth?
Gosh, sight to behold, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The ones, and then they provide endless sources of leads for law enforcement. And why is that? Because every time that happens, some creep in the swamp, whether they're Dem or Rhino, will come up and go, "You can't do that. They're fishermen." It's like, oh, and how are you getting paid?
I'm no expert, but I see the videos and I'm like, I ain't a fucking fishing boat.
Well, here's the cool part. So we talked about technology that we're in possession of. We know what's on those boats,
I bet.
and it's not a curious thing.
Yeah.
What happening to the fish? Are they all just like getting really amped up or what's up?
PETA
Yeah,
have
the
a problem with
fish
that?
get amped up.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a whale ingesting cocaine?
Yeah.
Bitch would be flying.
There's a big movie about it. There was Cocaine Bear, the movie. There'll be Cocaine Whale.
I assume it'd be very
Whale
similar.
watching is
killer whales.
fantastic in the
Killer
Caribbean
whales.
right now.
Yeah.
When we used to pump sanitaries overboard on the submarine, right? When we'd hear
What's that?
we'd
Sanitaries.
pump shit,
Yeah.
right? So you'd pump that overboard,
Poopies.
and there would be fish and everything going crazy. You'd hear biologic behind the submarine. So I assume these drug boats, there's a whole nother contingent of fish
Yeah.
that are like, Woo!
You know you're doing well when a sperm whale jumps over the ford and just goes over the
They're
ford.
like, that was legit.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
was the
and
good
F-18's taking off at the same time.
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
this is my kind of war, brother.
Sidebar. Dave and I were not in the military, so you're the only other guy that is or was in the military other than Eric.
Yeah.
Are all submariners gay, or is that just like? Is that,
So that's classified.
okay,
I actually
fair
can't
enough,
talk
fair
about
enough,
that.
yeah, fair enough.
Eric has a beautiful wife, so she knows she's not his first.
Yes.
So
I purely no. I'm not going to get into that. Not on this podcast. I respect Blaine too much. No, it's good.
What,
Honestly,
what
is
are they blowing these boats up with? Is it the Air Force? Who's doing it?
Oh, in some cases, we're actually using some weapons that are in their prototypical stages. So we've got robotics, we've got all kinds of things. They could be getting hit from under the water. They could be getting hit from airborne autonomous vehicles. Sometimes it's just a plain old everyday garden variety missile. But in most cases, we're tagging them with missiles. We're tagging them from very, very far away.
but they're kinetic weapons.
Okay. Yeah.
It's making them. It's sending. It's clearly sending a message, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, and this is what it is. It's about. So what those do, you go, okay, I hit a boat of cocaine. What does it do? It creates a cost imposition that gets those billionaire oligarchs that are sitting in Venezuela watching their holdings go up in smoke. And then what do? They go right to their phones and right to their laptops, and they may as well just be communicating with our satellites right overhead. And so we ingest all that stuff, and we find out who they're talking to and who they're bitching about and who are they upset about.
What senator or what congressman?
There,
they're calling.
bingo. Eric's got it exactly right. So then what they do is they go, who's that son of a bitch I paid for who's in D.C. supposed to be watching my hiney? And it's like, oh, I see you called Senator X.
This is going to get into something like, and I know geopolitical stuff is right in your wheelhouse, but I get frustrated because I'm a firm believer that, we're civil servants, right? I think that if you're running for office, it should be that way. And my concern with our current system is that whatever your original intentions, whatever altruistic intentions, whichever you went in there for, you owe so much return on investment by the time you get elected that those are back burner. You spend your entire term trying to pay off the people that got you into office in the first place.
Sure.
And then you see people like, I'll use one for example. I'm not saying he's into anything bad, but you see the fight right now between Sean Ryan and Dan Crenshaw because he's asking him questions that I think are legitimate.
I do too.
Why are you making so much money now? Right? And that's really frustrating from a voter's perspective.
Why are you allowed to not participate in Obamacare? Why are you allowed to not take the shot? Why are your staffs allowed to not take the shot? Why is insider trading okay?
Yeah.
Why is that all fine?
Yes.
And why won't you police that? Here's what bothers me. First off, we have to have some sort of structural reform. I personally would love to see term limits on these clowns so they can't get entrenched in D.C. and on their staffers. Because the staffers are even more powerful. But to be honest, if you look at the entire swamp, and I mean the deep state, the cubicle dwellers, the DEI warrior who's like, I'm just going to take that temple and lesson.
And it's not R's and D's. It's absolutely not.
It's not. And so what we have allowed D.C. to become is a drift and an ethics-free environment. And where I think we went wrong is for everybody outside of the military, that constitutional oath is ornamental. And I think we ought to put teeth into it. And if you want to be in the service of our government, that's fine. Not only are you going to raise your hand and take that oath, you're going to sign. You're going to sign a piece of paper that says you understand the oath that you took. You've been trained in what those clauses mean. And you know what those things are. And then we have a piece of paper that if we need to prosecute your ass for violation of your constitutional oath, well, then we'll just take you down on that. Because it'll be the easiest thing in the world.
The Uniform Code of Congressional Justice. I don't care what you call it. But
it's the same thing. But it is I could take all these things and go, you violated your covenant with this country and to the people of the country. We are a self-governed nation. We haven't been for a long time because we, the people, have been asleep at the wheel, asleep at the switch. And so what I think is you're seeing the awakening. You're seeing a revival. People are getting it. The scales are falling off right now. I think we're going to see a rise of citizen servant leaders. And I think what we're going to see is if we could get this accountability going then what you're going to see is if my dear friend down in Texas right now running for governor, Doc Pete Chambers, he's a Green Beret, has no reason to run for governor. He's pissed off and he wants to do something good for Texas.
I'm tired of complaining. I'm going to do something.
I'm going to do something.
Yes.
I'm not going to bitch. I'm going to go grab a shovel. I have a friend, we'll get to hear his name later on, but he's very seriously oriented around giving up a very profitable business investment career that he deserves after his service to the military as a vet, and he wants to come here and run for high office. Fine. But he's what we're looking at is we need to have a wave of citizens that are like, it's not enough for me to say this is bullshit and I can see it. It's what am I going to do about it? And that needs to be the movement. That needs to be what fires you up. That needs to be like, yeah, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it?
Well, I sit here and look at it from a basic business principle because here's Eric Boardman's 2-part plan to fix the country. All right? Probably not legitimate at all. I don't know how.
As this chart clearly shows.
Yes, this clearly shows.
Yeah.
But truly, what do we really? Most people, what they're really voting on, you're hoping you're voting with your values and your heart and everything that makes you you and what you think the country, what's best for the country. What you're really voting for is where your tax dollars going, right? I have a problem with somebody being able to vote themselves additional handouts, right? We have people that
and they do it all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
I would love to see a world where that weighs into whether or not you can vote. It's not that we won't
when
pick you up.
something makes absolutely no damn sense, no damn sense, then it should be investigated. So, case in point, let's, I don't know, let's be controversial and stay here in Idaho. Let's go to that guy who's the chairman of the Senate Foreign Affairs Committee, Senator Jim Risch. Mm-hmm. As the chairman of that committee, he is the one who could stop these $40 million per month payments to the Taliban.
Seems reasonable to me.
He won't let that thing go to the floor.
See, and that's the second
So
part.
then what I'm asking is why?
Right.
Why? What's your reason? Never one given. And John Thune backs him up.
See, that's...
And to me... It's not a Dem. That's why I keep saying on my social media posts, there's no aisle, kids.
Right.
Stop thinking there is.
Right.
There's no aisle. It's we the people versus they the swamp.
Right.
That's what this is.
Well, and that's the second part of it is, as a taxpayer, I just look at it from a simple business perspective. I don't think there should be any private campaign contributions when you're running for office.
Right.
I don't think there should be any. As let's say you're running for governor, running for president, for Christ's sake. I'd gladly give you, let's say, $1 million a piece. You campaign, you manage your own budget, but it is from us. That is a good return on investment because when they get elected and they're paying those people back, I'm going to pay it in spades.
I totally agree.
I'm going to pay it in spades.
And that's when you'll find them having their constitutional hearts opened up. Yeah, but my freedom of speech because I got a PAC and it's a 501XV.
Exactly.
And you're just like, oh, now you like the Constitution.
Oh,
isn't that interesting?
Weird how that works. But that's where I get so frustrated. It's like, how do you get it? Like, there's nobody that can look at Nancy Pelosi and not know she's insider trading.
What is her life expectancy? Are we done with her in like 5 years?
She's plastic. Dude. I mean, what's the half-life on plastic?
She's a lizard person, I think is what they call them. She's not human.
Yeah, but is it the combo? Is she a lizard who takes adrenochrome or is it... So, I mean, if you have the combo...
Do they all need to? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know how lizard life works. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
my gosh.
Now we're in a new place.
Why would anyone want to do a job for that long? Like, just go retire.
Because it's wildly lucrative.
Well, because two reasons. There's money in it.
Yeah.
And if you leave, you can't defend yourself.
That.
Well, look at Dan Crenshaw, like you just brought up.
Yeah.
Like there's a weird
It's
thing where
not weird.
people get to that position where all of a sudden they find themselves in a position of, do I stay here?
Wait a minute.
or do I have to leave
Wait a minute.
completely?
What really cool young leaders program was Dan a part of before he ran for Congress? What was that? Oh yeah, the World Economic Forum. That one.
Oh, God. Damn it, Blaine. Shit. See, that is the thing that just bugs me inherently about politics is you're no longer getting true civil servants into politics. And I think Trump throws
You're not. But that's why it's so incumbent to really push people towards, look, we got to have citizen servant leaders. And if you're at a place in your life, maybe you've exited your business, maybe you've got a few years to spend on Team America here. Everybody comes up to us and they'll go, hey, thank you for your service. And it's like, well, thank you, but let's have some from you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem, is that people lose an eye or their wife gets shot in the head, and all of a sudden they capitalize on the sympathy. And then you find them in positions of power when the truth is that they had nothing to do with where we are now.
That's right.
Right.
Well, this is the thing. We go back to what Winston Churchill said. You can always trust the Americans to do the right thing after they've tried everything else.
Right.
And I really do think we're at this point of inflection. But I think the president can't do all of this by himself. He can set the conditions. He can do the national security strategy. He can save us from World War next. He can even probably take on the financialists and create a little space for us. Yeah. But if we remain as Americans in the apathy that we have over the last 30 years, what did George W. Bush say after 9/11? Go shopping? We'll go take care of the rest? No. The founders had intended for you to participate in this republic. The founders had intended for that. And so if you don't like the way things are going, it's probably because you're not participating.
And that's where I'm going with voting. And I know that's an outlandish claim, and there'd have to be caveats to it. But if you're not contributing to the system that pays for a lot of the things, then I don't think it's like a citizen versus just somebody that lives in the community. There's a difference between the two.
You want the Roman way?
Well, I mean, potentially, but I absolutely think you should.
It's the arc we're on anyway.
Yeah, but you should contribute to that system so it's not so self-serving and beneficial, and that you'd actually seek out that ability, right? That honor to take part in that.
Here's where I think most of the apathy sits. We're going to wrap this up.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I'm wondering if he's writing a poem over there. And I'm like, I hate it.
I'm taking notes.
That's like, Dave, I sent you a poem. I'm like, stop it.
I'm not writing a poem.
I thought you were writing a poem.
I'm taking notes for the intro later.
Sorry.
The apathy sits at election integrity. If we think our elections are cooked and we've got machines that don't vote for who we're voting for, then we're powerless. If you can't vote your way out of the problems that you have, well,
then what do you have?
Then we're on our way to the bad place.
Well, Venezuela.
What we would say in this country is the unpleasantness.
Yeah.
And there's a book that I would recommend. Another Idaho boy wrote it. He's a special forces guy down in Boise. His name is Clay Martin. Mm-hmm. Brilliant writer. He's got first off, he's got a urban combat survival book out that I think everybody should have on their shelf.
Ooh.
But Clay wrote a book, and maybe we can get it into the links of the show. But he wrote a book I just finished called "The Wrath of the Wendigo," and it's a fiction book, but it's projecting where we are in the United States right now, 10 years forward, and it's about we didn't fix it. America balkanized. We got to the bad place. And then you'll recognize all of the geography in it because Idaho is the redoubt. Idaho's where these Cascadian people are and how they've changed their lives and their culture over not being Americans anymore. And then it takes this to its logical place because the bad people, the globalists, they were never really dealt with. And they're the ones who won. And then this is where the final act comes in. But I found it to be a tremendous book to read, to go out there in the future and then look back. And
look at consequences.
Yeah, and look at consequences and then go, okay, so we got to take this stuff seriously.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't go to a place I want to live.
That sounds a lot like I read a book by William Forstchen called 1 Second After. Where he talks.
Yep.
And it was based in fiction, but there was a lot of truth that came out, like how close we were to some funky stuff.
So this is all about what's happening in the headlines right now. You'll see all the stories and you'll go, okay, this is where it was.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
So to bring this full circle, right? Now that Maduro is in U.S. custody and he is going to be tried for narco-terrorism and a bunch of other things, what do you think we should expect next? What's the next big headline?
The next big headline, I think you're going to see one of two headlines. You're going to see another push in Venezuela because they're not playing ball. Or if they are playing ball, it'll calm a little bit and Cuba will do the freak out. Those will be that possibility of our next headlines. Okay. The other one is 10 C-17s just showed up in Fairford, RAF Fairford, with the hot package on board, meaning all the special kids that I told you fly over here and do these exercises.
Fairfield?
Fairford. It's
Fairford.
RAF based in the UK.
Just checking.
They're
Okay,
staging.
cool.
They're staging.
Not slurring. Yeah.
And so I think it's just speculation on my part, but I think that as this revolution in Iran gets going, and we can call it a revolution now, not just protests, we may be putting a little thumb on the scale there.
Wait. What am I missing in Iran? Is something going down recently?
Oh, yeah.
I'm out of the loop. I'm out of the loop.
They're into day 10 of the people rising up.
Okay.
You have
And
social
they
media.
now have.
I don't.
They now have over 50 cities that are basically on fire, including Tehran. And
this is what happens when
as
I
I shared
delete
with
X.
you guys. I shared with you guys the mullahs have actually already scoped out 3 different exile locations where they would go to if this bad thing happened to them. But the thing that I would say is just like the case of Venezuela, we have to keep our head on a swivel on every main street in America, including here in Coeur d'Alene. Why? Because we've had 4 years of open borders, and we've got terror groups all over the place. And so do they throw a Hail Mary pass? I don't know. But I think the next headlines you're going to see relate to Iran.
So sleeper cells we need to be concerned with. And then Venezuela or Iran are going to be the next headline.
I believe so.
I
Could be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
honestly feel like places like Coeur d'Alene are even more of a target, even though we don't have a dense urban population. It's like a beacon of freedom.
We are.
You know what I mean? And if you can
Do you know what
that,
I find around the country? People think we're so much freer here in Coeur d'Alene than we really are. I mean, we're here locally. We know our mom and pop issues. We know our boss hog stuff here that goes on. But really, Coeur d'Alene is absolutely, as I travel around the country, is like, oh, you're in Coeur d'Alene. Oh, you guys have it all.
Yeah.
You guys have it all. I mean, wow, Coeur d'Alene. And I love that we have that reputation. I think Gun d'Alene adds a little bit to that mystique and lore. But then what I would say is, as folks who get to live here in this beautiful county, we need to make good on that. We need to make sure that we play a part in that.
Right.
We have to participate.
we're like the Sparta of the Roman Empire.
I am Sparta.
After our previous conversation, I don't want to go there. No, you are not cute.
Well, we're definitely interested in that, and I absolutely think that if you're coming out of the military, you'll appreciate this. Preventative maintenance is always better than corrective maintenance.
Oh, there's no question.
So we've got a couple meetings set up this week for what we're calling Idaho Court Watch, which is going to be a judicial watch so that people can be educated when they go vote for a judge. I think the surest way for a community to take a downturn is when you've got judges in power that
Damn straight.
that generals didn't fly for too long, is the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't. Judges aren't out there on the street. They don't.
They should be doing ride-alongs.
They should just at least be out there. When it's the same as being in a political position, or probably at some point, if it's like a career general at the Pentagon,
in
lose
addition
touch.
to ride-alongs, what I would like to see them do is go on DSS visits. I'd like to see them go, or whatever we call it here, Child Protective Services
Yes.
or whatever. I would like to see them go on well checks.
That's what
I want to see them do that. I want them to look into the damage that get created from the bench because they just went, oh, this is what we'll do.
Yeah, go into a crack house, see how these kids are living.
Yeah.
Just smell it.
Blaine, do you want to hear
Smell
something that'll piss you off?
There's a lot of things that'll piss
Yeah,
me
oh
off.
yeah, no, it'll
Not
piss
gonna
you
be
off.
hard.
It'll piss you off.
It won't be
locally.
hard.
We have a judge out here on child pornography cases
Yeah.
or child molestation cases. They're required to view the evidence before sentencing. We have a judge that won't. He will not review what prosecutors and cops have had to look at and what victims have had to
That's
endure.
called dereliction of duty.
no,
I mean, go to the big case. The big case is the laptop of Anthony Weiner. Was it 12 officers got to see it, 9 took their lives?
Strange.
Damn. I did not know that.
It's.
I've heard that.
I have heard through friends of mine who have directly been in contact with this. They haven't seen the laptop, but they're like, Blaine, it's so horrific. They said you would not question why somebody took their life after what they saw in that thing.
Damn.
Crazy.
There is evil in this world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's perps, and then there's evil.
Well, it's easy to get
Pure
frustrated
evil.
because we're talking about
there's
big
a difference
stuff,
too,
and it's
yeah.
so easy to get frustrated and feel like you can't do anything and feel like there's nothing. Like, what's your first step? Our first step is to make our community as the best that we can possibly make it.
As resilient and cling to our values and not yield on those values.
Right.
And when we see unfairness or injustice, we need to take our 3 minutes down at that microphone at the city council or the county commission.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We gotta do it.
Well, we talk about like being the example. It's kind of cliche to say that, but being the example for other communities, because we can't affect change at the federal level.
Right.
But we can affect change here. We've seen it. We can do it.
Yeah.
And then be that example for other communities. Let it spread.
Yeah, and you can't be in this complacency box that all the bad stuff happens in D.C. It doesn't happen at local and state levels. That's crap.
It does.
That's absolute crap. There are billions of dollars poured into this state to do very bad things.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, stay on it. Be good. And hopefully that permeates down south and gets to Boise. And then all of a sudden you've got a little bit more purchase.
They're very strange down there.
Yeah, a little bit. They're a lot different.
This is crazy.
That was cool.
That was fantastic, sir. Thank you. We are pushing time.
Always my pleasure.
Yeah,
Good to meet you finally. I guess that was
Yeah.
a good time.
This is cool. Honestly, we appreciate it. Like, this is such a huge thing to us because this community, we talk about it all the time. Like, real estate is not something that we love to do, but it's how we pay our bills.
Sure.
But this is like our opportunity to actually have a lot of fun, get connected with people in the community, and having you on here is such a cool time.
It's always a good time.
We appreciate you more than you know, Blaine.
I appreciate
Honestly.
Well, the people who listen to us thirst for knowledge, right? And you provide a lot that we simply cannot, just from a different perspective. So I learned a lot today.
Yeah, we can only talk about submarines so much, so it's nice to have you out here and talk about it.
Well, I'm grateful.
Yeah,
I'm grateful. Pick it up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be out with Jonathan Gilliam on Dangerous Intellectuals.
yeah.
And then what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to start moving into. We've got a lot of underground scientists in our region here.
Yeah.
They're doing some pretty kick-ass things with quantum physics and frequencies and things that are just the things that you would be very interested in. And,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start getting them on and having good discussions with them about what the art of the possible is. But there's literally scientists in our area who won't pop up with what they are and try to monetize what they have because they're worried they'll take a bullet to the head.
Damn.
And that's
Yeah.
the level and the caliber of stuff that they're working on.
Wow.
Yeah, it opened my eyes when I watched an Elon interview after he'd been with Doge and he was out doing what he was doing. And he said, at some point I can't keep
They're
doing
just gonna
this.
kill me.
They're
Right.
gonna that's exactly and that's him saying who was fearless going in. It was just a very real recognition on his part.
I went into a building here, an old shanty building on the Washington side, and it was one of the state-of-the-art labs that you could find in this field. And I looked over, and I saw one of the world's leading physicists. I'm like, I knew him from the future study that I'd done. I was like,
Wow.
what's he doing here? And it was like, whoa. I felt like I was in the book of Atlas Shrugged. I was like, oh, I'm in Galt's Gulch. Look at all these people. They're doing really cool things.
Yeah.
That's the type of folks we're going to bring on
Very
as
cool.
well.
That's fantastic.
I'm excited to get into that one. And obviously I think a lot of folks that endure us will get a lot out of that.
Well,
Absolutely, yeah.
Dangerous Intellectuals. If you're following this, follow their podcast as well. We appreciate you, Blaine. This is
Yeah, thanks for the insight, man.
Thanks.
Really appreciate
Thank you, brother. We'll get you. We know you'll be back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to make this more regular.
Cool.
We'll supply the whiskey, sir. Not a
Okay.
problem.
That's a fair deal.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Thanks,
Later.
guys.